Armed intimidators roam our communities. They wave their guns like children playing dress-up, barking threats and upsetting the peace. They insist they should be allowed to bring their guns everywhere, into our schools, our parks, and even our churches. But their guns are not toys. And then they say guns are the only way to keep your family safe, all to sell more guns. They spend millions lobbying for laws that allow them to shoot first and stand their ground. But that just makes it easier to get away with murder. Now they're selling.
All right, welcome back. We're talking about the Carry Guard insurance policy. It's a policy backed by the National Rifle Association, and it is creating controversy.
Yeah, critics of the program say they don't like it here. But we just saw Trayvon Martin's mother talking about this. I want to bring Reverend Williams in. You know Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton. Why is she on this? It would seem to me that she would be a beneficiary of this policy, just as she did sue the Homeowners Association in that Trayvon Martin case.
Well, first of all, let's be clear. Money is not justice for a life that's lost. And then secondly, Ms. Martin and the Trayvon Martin Foundation, Ms. Fulton and the Trayvon Martin Foundation, as well as Congresswoman Giffords from Arizona that was shot, they have organized a national coalition that will be working on these gun issues across the country. And she's a part of this coalition, and so we appreciate the work that she's doing. But on the end, on the last part, I think maybe there's something to this insurance piece. Maybe, just maybe.
Oh, here it comes.
Maybe every gun owner should have this insurance, and maybe they should be mandated by the state and the federal government to have this insurance. And maybe the insurance company should do background checks, and the insurance company should also do psychological tests. And the insurance company, if you don't have that insurance, and you get caught out there in the street with it, just like driving without driving without a license or driving without insurance, you should have to do the same thing with a gun.
So would you then come out at that point?
I'm saying, what do you say to that?
Hang on. At that point, would you then come out like you would for the people in Detroit and say, this is racial, this has all kind of racial implications because people in Detroit can't afford
all
this?
I'm saying is,
would you do that? Would you advocate for guns for black people?
Why wouldn't
would you advocate for organizations like the National African American Gun Association?
I don't advocate
would you do
for
that?
Guns. I don't advocate for guns. I don't advocate for the proliferation of guns, and I won't advocate for.
But you have guns in your church, don't you?
But at the end of the
day,
you
have guns in your church.
I don't have any guns in my church.
Oh yes,
I'm a gun-free zone. My church is a gun-free zone. It's the law for churches to be gun-free zones, and my church allows it.
So you have no guns. You'll be robbed later today.
Yes, but Reverend Williams does make a point, though. I mean, why shouldn't every gun owner have the insurance? And the reason is because it would put the burden on the insurance companies to filter out the wacky people that would get a gun, and then maybe there'd be more protection. I think that's your point.
And then I'm gonna get insurance.
Wait, we let you talk.
I'm gonna get insurance.
Excuse me. You already talk. It's my turn to talk. Excuse me.
Rick carries a gun, Reverend. Be careful. Rick carries a gun. Maybe he has insurance. Be careful, Reverend.
So what you do is being disruptive to keep me from.
I ain't nobody trying. Rick's a violent man. Be careful.
Hold on, Reverend.
He's a violent man. Be careful, Reverend. Back home is saying, will you all let the man talk?
Let the man talk.
Thank you. Here's the point.
You don't let him talk, he'll shoot.
If you are a responsible citizen, you're probably going to have the insurance or some way to protect yourself against reckless prosecution is brought up by misguided people such as the good Reverend over here who want to ensure that law-abiding citizens
when you call my name, then that means I can respond. When you call my name, that means I can respond.
So my question is, Trayvon Martin committed a violent act, and you know what? The man defended himself, and there was a court of law, and in that court of law, it was ruled that he was found not guilty. The thing is, the bottom line is having this insurance. Having this insurance really means is that people have a way to keep themselves from being railroaded by the system, such as they attempted to do with Marcus Weld, and he had over $50,000 in costs with regards to defending.
Let me ask you
$50,000.
Rick, got it. Let me ask you this. At this time, right now, we're seeing white supremacists in Charlottesville, Virginia. We have Dylan Roof, who shot up a church. there are some concerns that policies like this stoke this racial divide that we have in the country right now. That has been a policy specifically, or a criticism specifically about this policy. Is this the right time for a policy like this?
Just because you have a policy, there are conditions on it. And let me say this: if you are doing an illegal act, in other words, if I go into 7-Eleven or the pastor's church who has no guns, I go in there and rob his church, right? Guess what's going to happen? I'm not going to be covered. It covers lawful self-defense.
Accident, yes.
And there's guns in every church.
We're missing a major point here. All right, people drive. If they don't have insurance, they still drive, right? So who's to say that the folks who get denied, right, or don't have coverage, if this goes through, are not going to still use their firearms? I mean, so
you should not need insurance to use your firearms. You have a constitutional right to carry a firearm.
We're talking about this as if somehow, if the insurance companies do background checks or whatever, right?
We don't need that. The government already proposed a background check to get a concealed pistol license. All you want is another form, another level of gun control
from using their weapons.
I want to say, does it bother anybody that there's no safety courses to buy this insurance? In other words, I can get my gun, I don't even need a safety course, and I've got this insurance.
No, you don't.
You don't need one to own.
You don't need a safety course to exercise your right to own a firearm. But
is that a problem?
Where's the problem? The problem comes in when criminals use firearms, and all of a sudden we have criminals that misuse firearms, and all of a sudden you want to punish all the law-abiding citizens who do the right thing.
I mean, you make money training people.
I want to understand. You make money appealing to those special needs.
Okay, now we're over here. Enough.
I feel as if you don't have to have these tests, then maybe I should be able to buy insurance that says if I get shot by one of y'all crazy gun owners, that I should be protected also, because obviously there is no background checks, there is no test, there is nothing that
says. There's a Second Amendment right, just like you have a First Amendment right. Why don't we do background check on preachers?
Well, that's not.
Why don't we do that?
That's not going to do with anything.
What are you talking about? It's a constitutional right that you don't want to acknowledge.
You just want to be a part of the conversation. Share your thoughts. You might see them live on the air. Use the hashtag #LetItRip. They're going to keep going. We'll be right back.